So there was a time back in college where I had everything going for me. I was just about to graduate. I had a great job lined up. I was in a pretty long-term relationship, and just everything seemed to be exactly how I thought I would want things and how I'd always planned my life out to be. One by one, those things just started dropping off. The relationship ended, the job went away, and then at that time I started really realizing that I was having some really weird health issues, just having frequent panic attacks and not being able to sleep, and I just started feeling like I was going crazy. I went to the doctor at the time, and they had diagnosed me with generalized anxiety and said it was pretty severe, and put me on medication immediately and recommended that I start going to see a counselor. And the medication just, it made me feel really numb. I started talking to the counselor about all this, and I remember one thing that he told me was this was who I was now. This was something I was going to deal with for the rest of my life, these panic attacks and these feelings, and they weren't going to go away. And it was all about learning how to change my behaviors to manage them. It just felt like they were telling me who I was and sort of giving me this identity that I was a person with anxiety, and this is kind of what I was going to be for the rest of my life. And it just got worse and worse. I kept trying to fix these issues. I started partying more, drinking more, which just made everything worse. And I can only think back to the time of my life as just feeling like I was in this darkness. Everything around me was dark. It felt hopeless. I really didn't even want to get up in the morning anymore. Every day I would try to fix the problem, and every day I would make it worse. It wasn't until I was invited to church by a friend, and it was just so interesting that the pastor there actually had anxiety, and he preached a sermon on how the Bible actually has scriptures talking about anxiety and how it's referenced multiple times by Jesus. And I started listening to those scriptures and started realizing that I had my hopes and everything placed all in the wrong areas, that I was doing everything myself. Over time, as I began to read the Word and find my identity in Christ, all of those things that they told me would never go away just started to suddenly disappear, to the point where here I am about 7 years later, and I hardly have any symptoms of anxiety. It's still there. I still think it is something that I deal with, but it's not my identity. It's just something that I know that is about me that Jesus can overcome.